All right, welcome back to another login with Shannon. Today's video is going to be a continuation of the grade school. I know everybody's like, oh, and again, it is my journey login, but it is available for people to see anytime, you know, stuff like that. But the reason I'm telling you this is because there's a correlation between the Matrix and what they've done to us, you know, programming us with schooling and keeping busy, and that's the key, keeping busy so you don't find out who you are. So I'm just gonna delve right in there and say, so we completed grade 8, great, had a summer free, you know, 2 months, and then you get into grade 9. So now what's the difference? Well, the difference is now they gave you tons more responsibility, tons more of homework, tons more of your time that you're not going to be able to find out about the Matrix, if you're a soul, that is. Because again, remember, they've blocked us from remembering. And so how in the world could you possibly find that out? I guess it's like a needle in a haystack at this point. That's what it would dictate to me, that needle in the haystack is pretty much what it looks like, if I may say so myself. So now we got grade 9. Alright, you know, go get your school books, get new teachers, okay, your new assignments are going to be handed out. Then you're going home with tons of homework. Now we're talking maybe 10, 11, or 12 at night, you know, so you can complete all your assignments, your lessons. So what does that do? Well, again, to reiterate, it takes you away from your time, yourself, and finding out what we're in. So I'm not gonna, you know, get too long of a video on this subject, because you get the point. Grade 8, they kept you busy. Grade 9 through 12, they kept you pretty busy. And for those that went on to college, for those of them that went on to universities, I mean, I'm not picking on you. I'm not. And I'm not saying it's your fault that you didn't know, if you had a soul, that is. Some are soulless, as I mentioned. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, bull crap on that, but it is that way. And that's fine. I don't expect anybody to believe me. I expect you to go do your own research. Research. The internet's there. You got all the resources at your tips of your fingers. How do you know if you're a soul or not? Well, if you're questioning that, then maybe it's time to look into further, you know, deep down within, go within and meditate maybe, or, you know, a non-soul will know he's a non-soul or she's a non-soul. They will just know. But a soul is going to question, like, could I be one? And usually that's about the ones that are a soul. So if you find yourself different from everybody else, if you find yourself, you know, isolated away from other people because you can't handle too much noise or too much drama, or you probably are a soul. Those are some of the, you know, details that might be significant in this case of finding out who you are. But meditation, you know, finding other videos, like I said, Quartz Crystal, her name's Judy. I mentioned that before, and I'll mention it again and again, because she will break it down for you. You know, some of you will not resonate with it because we've been programmed so badly to the point where we don't even know the truth anymore. You know, so if it sounds like outlandish and out there and alien-like, oh, it cannot be, you know, this is not going to resonate with you. But that's fine, you know, because soon there'll be a time where everybody's just going to be woken up. You know, it's like that movie Passengers. You're in your isolation pod, dreaming, sleeping, if you will. It's symbolic to what we're in, like the Matrix, in a pod, sleeping, dreaming of this illusion. Yeah, sure, we feel real. We feel real. We sound real. We touch people. We touch the desk. We touch, we eat. We taste. Of course, but that's all part of the Matrix experience. Do you ever see some of those shows like Upload on Amazon, and she had to put on a suit that gives the feeling of fingers and all that? You know what I'm talking about for those that watched it. So this is, again, me documenting my experience here, but once again, it's there for people that really want the truth, and that's all I'm ever going to give you, the truth. But how do I know your truth is the truth? Well, because I've lived it and experiencing it. So, so going back to the schooling, then you meet a sweetheart in high school, if you didn't already in grade school, but let's just say for argument's sake, and that takes time away again. It takes time away from your schooling. It takes time away from finding out who you are. So you try to cram everything into one, burning yourself out at, burning the candles at both ends. So, you have to think about that and realize, yeah, that's how it was or how it is. And like I said, man, that's just high school. And then you got in college, which is even more tougher. And university, well, whew. For myself, at maybe grade 10, I said I'm checking out of this because I was doing great. I had high grades. I was winning awards. My counselor thought, this school's too easy for you. We need to put you in a tougher, stronger curriculum. And I'm like, well, screw that, man. I didn't want nothing to do with that. Man, I just couldn't stand it because I didn't see the point of needing all this crap that they were teaching. Some courses I liked, the mechanical aspect of it, body shops and welding and machine shops. That kind of hit home that, hey, I like this. But for all this other stuff, no, it wasn't for me, man. But for some of you love it. Some people love schooling. They live for it. And, hey, that's great. I'm not picking on you. That's what you like. That's what you like. I'm saying for the ones that thought there was something really weird about this, it was probably that. Yourself nudging you, saying, hey, this is not for you, or you need to look elsewhere. You need to find out something else. So that's for those people, the souls. And then in my case, I quit, grade 10, found a girl, and then everything else didn't matter anymore. It was about like, ooh, puppy love, all this stuff that to keep you busy with some more. So that's where my life went, and the rest for schooling was history. I was out of there. Many times I did return to school, not so much for the grade 12, but, machine shop courses and blueprint courses, and some I did in school, some I did at home, got some certificates, but again, it was just to match what I was doing in my life at the moment, which was machining, so I just wanted to better myself, if you will, with this kind of thing. And again, keeps you busy. Now, like most people are going to say, yeah, but you have to do this stuff. You have to do education, otherwise you can't get a good job. Well, let's take the job, for instance. Well, actually, I'll leave the job thing for the next one. I just wanted to touch in about the school, as I mentioned. And, think about it. How many all-nighters did some people pull? You have going out with your girlfriend, and, oh, my God, I got to do my homework, and, not eating well, eating, easy, cheesy food that was not nutritional, and like in my case, my dad and his girlfriend smoked and stuff like that, and and I'm breathing this stuff, and I was not happy about it. But then the day I started smoking, they're like, "Well, what the hell? How did you start smoking? Why did you?" Well, secondhand, and I'm breathing this garbage. But off tangent there. But it's that kind of thing, then things we regret doing, like smoking, drinking, whatever, whatever the poison was for you at the time, or is still, excuse me, um, you know. So I just wanted to touch on that. So, but I'll end that with the schooling. But you get my point. Um, yeah. And then we'll dive into, now we got jobs and responsibilities even more, stuff like that. And, if you still have a girlfriend and, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, think about it, go back and think if, back then, what I'm saying, or maybe you're going through it right now. Who knows? I don't know. Only you knows. But I'm just trying to, like I said, correlate what the Matrix is trying to do to you and what you think is normal, secondhand teaching. You got to get your education, otherwise you won't get a good job, they said. The parents were just on you, like, you got to be this, you got to be that. I want you to be following my steps as a lawyer. I want you following my footsteps as a doctor. So education is very important. Now, again, let me emphasize, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We needed doctors, we needed all kinds of professions, even the machinists, we needed them. We need truck drivers, we need people working in the grocery store. We need all these people. So don't get it wrong. I'm not picking on that. I'm just saying, like, life was weird for me because I always knew there was something wrong. At 13 years old, I remember just sitting there in the out of commission car that my stepdad had, and I thought, okay, it would be so cool. I can't wait to get my driver's license. Oh man, it'd be so cool. Freedom, man. Burnouts, all that garbage. And I thought to myself, okay, so I'll finish school, I'll get a job, I'll meet a girl, then we'll get married, then we'll have kids, then we'll get a house, then I'll pay the house off, and then it hit me like a ton of bricks. What in the world after that? It scared me. It scared me bad. Like, I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh my God, there's most of my life. Now I'm at that age where, what do I do next? It terrified me. I was like shivering for the rest of the day thinking about that. They got you so busy in the Matrix that one, well, we'll get into the retirement part, but just think about that. I mean, holy crap. What do you do with that at 13 years old? So I was always having nudges by self. Like, think about it, wake up. There was a lot more things that happened in my life, but that kind of stuff, So, yeah, I'll leave it there with that. But, man, sometimes it's creepy, Once you find out what you're in, you're like, no, that's impossible. That's sci-fi stuff, man. You watch too much sci-fi movies, and no. Most of them are not sci-fi movies. They're documentaries. And for those that know what I'm talking about, you just know that this is an illusion in the Matrix. They just kept you busy. You're scripted, and that's another thing we'll get into, the scripted part. I just don't want to overwhelm these videos into one, cram the whole life of the Matrix into one. That'd be silly, and it's too much to swallow, too much to comprehend. And people will get lost and, lose interest. But again, I'm just documenting what I'm going through in life, and each time I do a video, it'll be something like this. So I hope I don't bore too many people that are interested in what I have to say. I'd love for people to get it and to understand and to do something with it. But again, I'm just documenting my journey. So with that being said, I'll leave it there, and please be safe.